in this, and that is originally God created in the garden two trees. One is the tree of life, got it? And the other is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And here's what a lot of Christians, why is it that some don't show up? Why is it that some seem to be angry as Christians? I'm going to show you where this kind of comes in the element of creation, that there are two trees and that we were created, Adam was created to draw from the tree of life. He had fellowship and relationship with God every day, but there was also this tree of good and evil. And a lot of times our brain says this, that there's the tree of evil and there's the tree of good. But that's not what it says, does it? The tree of good and evil is one tree. It's the same tree, and it's not a good tree. So one tree has both good and evil, but then one tree has life. And he goes on as he takes a look, and in chapter 3, he says, "Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say, you must not eat from the tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and that you must not touch it or you will die." You know what's interesting is he never said you couldn't touch it. He just said don't eat it. It wasn't an apple, by the way, okay? A lot of people picture the little apple in the children's that doesn't mention an apple anywhere. And now number 4, it says, you will not surely die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open. You know what's interesting? Is the devil is appealing to her goodness and not her evil. He's not saying, oh, come on, God doesn't want you to have any fun. Come on, let's go do our own thing. Here's what he's trying to say. He's appealing to her goodness. You will be like God. You love God, don't you? Don't you want to be like God? If you take this, so he's appealing to her goodness to draw her from the tree of life and to connect her to this tree of both good and evil. And in that moment, and it says, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you'll be like God, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, which is good, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, and notice this one, who was with her, and he ate it. So, in other words, Adam's right there. I would submit this. The original sin wasn't eating the apple. The original sin was a passive husband. That was the original sin. He could have stopped the whole thing, but he did nothing. She ate it and goes, here, this is pretty good. You got to try this. And so in this moment, this is what our faith is all about, because Jesus is called the second Adam. You and I were meant to live connected to the tree of life. That's where we were meant to live. That's where God intended creation when he made man, was to live from the tree of life. But because of sin, they moved into the tree of evil that has some branches in it called good, but neither one of them bring life.